Okay guys, here's a quick update to the new firmware update that DJI just released regarding the follow me mode, the point of interest, the waypoints and so forth. I'm receiving a lot of emails from people wanting to know what they're doing wrong. They can't get it to come up. So just a real quick explanation, because I know it's a little bit hard for them to find how to do this, because there's not a lot out there. So after you download all the updates, all the firmware updates, and you update your app and so forth, and you want to go out there and fly your craft and get the menus to enable the follow me mode, the watch me mode, or whatever you want to call it, what you have to do is you have to make sure that you select the F on your transmitter. And when you do that, let me turn it off, let me just show you. After you select the F, so you can see it all at the same time. Sorry, it's really bright out here. It'll pull up the menu. There you go. So now you'll be able to see you can do course lock, home lock, and I'm not going to go through all of those different things to tell you what they do, because there's a lot of different videos already out there, and you can pull it up on the website and you can get that information without me burning up a whole lot of time on YouTube. But the one thing I would like to show you, though, this is pretty cool, is the point of interest. The point of interest is something that you guys will probably use more than the waypoints. The waypoints, it's nice, but the one thing that I don't like, well, let me select it and let me show you. Nope, I guess I won't tell you. New mission, it'll tell you that you have to be within, when you try to set your parameters, let me see if I can zoom in on that, you can see it. It says maximum radius is 500 meters, maximum path length 5,000 meters. Well, you have to be within that to set your course. So if you're going to fly out a long ways away and you wanted to set up a waypoint mission, you can't be too far away on your maps to do that. The point of interest is pretty cool, because what you can do is you can hit your point of interest, and what you'll do is you'll fly to where you want to go. So this, for example, right here, I pulled this up. I'm over this vacant lot. They're doing a construction thing here, construction zone. I'm hoping you guys can see this. You go to this location and you record this as your POI, point of interest. So now it's set. So now that you have it, you can move your craft away from that point of interest, go sideways, left, right, whichever one you want to do. So you move your craft away from that and you increase your radius from that center. So what I mean by that is, right now I am 180 feet roughly away from the center of that area that I thought was really neat and I wanted to focus in on. So let me pull up the camera screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, let me do this one-handed. So I'm moving the craft. Now I can bring the camera into focus, and let's say that I want to watch something that's going on right in the middle of that area right here. And yeah, I've been having some camera issues with my bird. I'm hoping that it's something that I can get taken care of quickly. But anyway, so then once you have that, you're going to say how fast do you want to rotate your craft. So I'm going to go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. They're calling it anti-clockwise, but counterclockwise. I'm going to do it 17 miles an hour. I hit apply. So return to home in the event of an emergency. What do you want to set at? For me, it's always 121, and then it starts off on its mission. And what's great is you can see down here, here's the mission that it's going to be flying, and it is flying right now. So it's going to circle that point of interest that you selected, and you can control the camera yaw as it's going, and you can bring the pitch down. And I'm doing this from the, why you have that video flicker is I am currently quite a ways from it here, and I got a lot of trees in between me and the bird. So there you go. You can select your camera angle that you want to do. You can move it a little bit while it's doing the rotation. Let me just show you while I bring that up. So as this drone is going around and around in circles, you can control what the camera is seeing, and you can also turn, you can see how the drone is turning and you can control what it's seeing. So I can turn the forward-facing part of the drone any which way while it maintains that circle. Hopefully that explains some of the stuff that you guys were asking me. But essentially there you go, and then as you can see over here on the right, you can adjust your speed, your altitude, and all that good stuff while you're still doing your rotation around that point of interest. So for me, I thought that was one of the most important features that they released. The waypoints are cool, but I think I'll probably be using the point of interest more. The follow me mode also works as expected. It works great. So just wanted to get this up real quick and answer some questions that people were sending in. Thanks for watching. Interesting point that just happened at the very end of that video, and those of you that froze on it or saw it, yeah, this is kind of neat. This happens every once in a while. The temperature on my iPad needs to cool down before you can use it. Well, if you're in mid-flight and you're out there, this is kind of bad, because obviously you should be doing fly-by-sight anyway and keep it within visual range. But if you're out there quite a ways and you're in a long distance visual range type of a flight, this can cause a problem because you lose all your telemetry and everything else. And if you don't have a backup iPad or phone or something to connect it to, it certainly can cause a problem. So the one thing I have noticed with the Apple devices is the temperature threshold for these are pretty bad. So if you're flying in a hot environment, keep that in mind. The Android devices are much better for higher temperatures, and I believe Romeo from DJI touched a little bit about that, what he experienced when he was flying out there in Vietnam and so forth. But that is definitely something to consider if you're out there in high temperatures, folks, and you're using these Apple devices. The temperature threshold for these things are not really good. It is hot out when I was doing that test flight, and when you're running that application, it really starts to heat up quick. So yeah, certainly something to think about. Not something you want to happen when you're out there a long ways away and you have no backups to go to. Luckily I can just switch over to another device. But I remember when we were doing the other video and we were in Laughlin, Nevada, I was constantly switching from one to the next, moving the Apple devices into the cooler and then pulling out one and then another one because they were just constantly overheating. So that is something to keep in the back of your mind if you're using them in high temperatures. So again, thanks for watching.